Well, I was wondering, well, the first album was called Big Talent, just no number one. This is called number two. Well, I heard, well, the biggest difference is lyric-wise is this album is more about trust, and the first one was more angst issues.
There's a lot of that. I mean, there's trust. I think that's one element of it. Yeah, but I mean, every song is a little different. Every song has its own story to tell, you know. So Red Flag is different than Devil, and Devil is different than Surrender, and Surrender is different than Burn the Evidence, and different than the name of the song. Everyone kind of is very precise for the music.
But was it hard to, well, after the first album, to record the new album? Because, well, the first album has been, well, was a success, and I heard you, well, decided to go back to your normal living, and then to regain some the normal inspiration.
It was difficult, like anything you work hard on. It was difficult, but we worked at it a lot every day. Like we really met in the studio and just worked out all the parts. But yeah, it was difficult, but very rewarding when it was completed.
And what was more difficult than the first? Well, than recording the first album?
It's just difficult because it's work. Like you're working on something.
Yeah.
It doesn't come easy. You can't. We don't just go into the rehearsal hall and write 3 songs and then go home and have dinner. Like you're really trying to create something. So yeah, that's the only thing that was difficult, just the creating part.
And was it more difficult than the first album?
Yeah, it was actually, because a lot of the songs on the first record were written years before we recorded the first record, so we almost had 3 years to write the first record, if you think about it. And then this record, we had maybe 1 or 2 songs kind of written in, and we had to write the full second record in the span of 6 months, so it was more difficult. And also, we just wanted to make it sound better than the first record, so that was a difficult task as well. But I think we ended up making it happen.
But did you talk about, well, the way the record should go? Or?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we talked about sounds, what we want things to sound like. It was very organized compared to recording the first record.
And was it a bit, well, taking the creativity out of it? Or, I mean, if you talk about the process of making music, isn't it, well, sometimes hard that you, well, the risk of taking the creativity out of the songwriting process? I
think a lot of spontaneous things still happen in the recording studio, so it ends up balancing out well. Like I think a good song needs just an equal amount of structure and spontaneity, so I think we had both.
Like when we were going into the studio, all the songs we had pretty much worked them all out, so they were all written.
Yeah.
The creativity came when we were practicing and when we were putting the songs together in the rehearsal studio. But in the studio, we were just documenting it.
Yeah.
Very regimented.